where we explore the depths of self-worth and empowerment. Today, I want to ask you a powerful question. Are you constantly seeking validation from someone who treats you like an option rather than a priority? It's time to take a hard look at your life and recognize the truth. Why do we allow others to dictate our self-esteem? Imagine this. You've poured your heart and soul into a relationship, only to find yourself feeling more like a shadow than a valued partner. You've given so much, yet you're left feeling drained and unappreciated. Why do you tolerate this? Who made them the central figure in your world? It's time to reclaim your power. As the philosopher Epictetus once said, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This wisdom speaks volumes about the importance of self-control and self-respect. Instead of waiting for someone else to validate your worth, why not take the reins of your life back? Look in the mirror for a moment. What do you see? A person full of potential or a beggar pleading for attention? Why are you settling for less than you deserve? Remember, your value is inherent, not defined by others. It's time to stop the cycle of self-deprecation and recognize the greatness within you. In this video, we're going to dive deep into practical strategies that will help you reclaim your self-worth and make others see your value without you having to plead for it. Are you ready to shift the dynamic? To stop being the one who chases and start becoming the one who is desired? Extremely dark tricks to make them think about you. 12 things you need to consider. Let's embark on this journey together and transform the way you view yourself and your relationships. Number 1. The silent power of withdrawal. Taking back your worth. One of the most empowering decisions you can make is to choose silence and step back from someone's life. In a world that teaches us to stay connected, always available, choosing to withdraw in silence can feel unusual, almost unsettling. But this choice, this quiet withdrawal, can be a transformative step towards reclaiming your self-worth. Understand that this isn't a move of manipulation. Rather, it's a profound statement that says, I know my value and I won't allow myself to be taken for granted. Imagine you've spent too much time and energy waiting for that message to come through, hoping they would reach out or acknowledge the effort you put into being there for them. Why should anyone be allowed to treat you as a backup, something they only pay attention to when it's convenient? By stepping back, you communicate that your presence is not a given, that it is something of value. And interestingly, people often start to realize your worth only when they feel the absence of it. When you pull away, it's akin to the sudden stop of background music. The sound has been playing all day, barely noticed until it's gone, and then silence fills the space with an almost deafening emptiness. This silence, in turn, becomes a mirror to your absence. People often take things for granted when they're constantly available, assuming they'll always be there. When you disrupt this assumption, you shift the balance of power and create a new awareness. Consider the words of Maya Angelou. Never make someone a priority when all you are to them is an option. In taking a step back, you are prioritizing yourself, showing them that you're not just waiting in the wings for their attention. This subtle act of self-respect forces them to see what they might have missed and recognize that your presence was never something to be dismissed. In today's culture of instant communication, constant accessibility can reduce one's presence to a background hum. When you withdraw, even briefly, you create a pause in the usual rhythm, a break that commands attention. They begin to wonder about the change, about why you've stopped reaching out. In this pause, you allow them the space to reflect on your role in their life, to question why they may have taken you for granted. And curiosity, as we know, is a powerful feeling that can grow into something much deeper. There's an undeniable psychology at play. Humans are wired to notice the absence of what they once took for granted. It's a phenomenon psychologists refer to as the scarcity effect, where something becomes more valuable simply because it's no longer readily available. Your absence transforms you from a predictable presence into something rare, intriguing, something they find themselves missing, even if they can't pinpoint why. As Henry David Thoreau once said, "It's not what you look at that matters, it's what you see." When you're no longer there, they begin to see you in ways they hadn't before. They remember the conversations, the support, the small gestures of kindness. Those memories come alive in your absence, reminding them of the value you added simply by being there. Withdrawing doesn't mean cutting off ties or ignoring them forever. Rather, it's about setting boundaries that reaffirm your worth. You're sending a silent yet powerful message. I value myself enough not to be taken for granted. This act isn't about punishing them. It's about honoring yourself. Consider the ripple effect this action has. When you step away, they begin to question why. It's human nature to try to understand things we don't immediately grasp, and your withdrawal becomes something they're eager to make sense of. They may start to analyze past conversations, wondering if they missed something. This shift makes you the focal point of their thoughts, not because you're around, but precisely because you're not. The idea of stepping back can be uncomfortable at first. Society has conditioned us to believe that showing care means always being present, available at a moment's notice. But the truth is, constant availability can diminish respect. The value of something is realized only in its absence, as Khalil Gibran wisely noted. By choosing when to be present, you elevate the quality of your presence. When they see you're not always there, they begin to appreciate the times you are. They realize that your attention is not a given, but something they must earn. It's a reminder that you're a person with boundaries, not an accessory in their life. Stepping back allows you to redefine your role in their life. You're no longer the always available option, but someone whose presence is felt and valued. Absence has a way of creating an emotional response. They may find themselves checking their phone more frequently, wondering why you're not reaching out. Little by little, they start to notice that the conversations, the companionship they once had with you, are no longer there, and this void speaks volumes. At the core, you're helping them experience the reality of life without you, allowing them to feel the gap you leave behind. When they come to terms with this absence, they also come to understand the value of what they lost. It's a profound realization that can often spark a desire to reconnect with a newfound respect. As Oprah Winfrey once said, "When you undervalue what you do, the world will undervalue who you are." By choosing silent withdrawal, you're not only showing them your worth, but also teaching yourself to honor it. This isn't about making others miss you for ego's sake. It's a practice of self-respect. You're teaching them and yourself that your energy is precious, not something to be spent carelessly. In your absence, memories become sharper. They'll remember the way you made them feel, safe, appreciated, valued. The little moments they overlooked now carry weight. This absence reminds them of the things they may have disregarded when you were always around. It's the same principle that underlies the saying, "Absence makes the heart grow fonder." By creating space, you allow for a shift in perspective. Suddenly, they start to reflect on the moments they had with you, realizing the comfort and support you brought into their life. Without even realizing it, they're drawn back to those memories, to the emotions they felt in your presence. Just as ripples spread across a pond from a single stone, your withdrawal sends waves into their world. They may initially ignore it, but soon enough, they begin to feel its effects. Each unanswered call, each text left unread, adds to the growing curiosity and yearning to understand. Silence has a way of magnifying everything it touches. Think of it as a pendulum effect. You pull back, creating distance, and they feel the shift. When you re-enter the picture, they're more likely to appreciate you. Perhaps even make an effort to ensure you don't feel undervalued again. This isn't about punishment. It's about recalibrating the balance of respect. By choosing silent withdrawal, you're not only creating a space for them to miss you, but also giving yourself the room to grow, to reconnect with your sense of self-worth. This time allows you to refocus on what truly matters to you, to build a life where you don't depend on anyone else for validation. As Eleanor Roosevelt wisely said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." When you choose to step back, you're asserting that you refuse to let anyone diminish your value. You're taking control of your own narrative, no longer waiting on the sidelines for someone else to define your worth. This journey isn't just about how others perceive you, it's a declaration to yourself. Make a commitment right here and now. I honor my value and I will not compromise my self-worth. By internalizing this affirmation, you set a standard for how you expect to be treated. With this newfound clarity, you're no longer the one endlessly waiting, hoping for someone's attention. Instead, you've become someone of substance, someone they can't help but think about, even when you're nowhere to be seen. This process is only the beginning of something deeper, a journey of self-respect that builds with each step. In the next part, we'll explore further techniques to solidify this sense of worth and create a lasting impact on how others see you and how you see yourself. Stick with this path, as it leads to a transformation that's truly empowering. Number 2, the art of push and pull, creating unforgettable attraction. One of the most effective ways to keep someone thinking about you is by mastering the subtle art of push and pull. This isn't about playing mind games, but about establishing a rhythm in your interactions that feels intriguing and keeps things fresh. The key is balance, knowing when to lean in and when to step back, creating a mix of warmth and distance that makes your presence memorable. Think of this as creating waves in a relationship, moments of closeness followed by brief pauses. When you're fully present, engaging, and attentive, they feel valued, almost like they're at the center of your world. This is the push. It builds a sense of comfort and connection, but then, just as they begin to settle into that feeling, you gently pull back. You take a bit longer to respond, let them initiate, or step away for a short time. This creates the pull. This dynamic leaves them wondering where they stand, keeping them invested in the connection because there's a hint of unpredictability. As psychologist William James once noted, the deepest principle in human nature is the craving to be appreciated. The push and pull taps into this desire by providing moments of validation, then creating a temporary distance, making them yearn for that feeling again. People naturally want what feels just out of reach, and by balancing your availability, you're allowing them to pursue you in a way that feels rewarding. The power of push and pull lies in its ability to create a magnetic tension. Imagine a dance where they move closer, only for you to gracefully step back. This unpredictability makes them think about you more, wanting to reconnect to that feeling they've grown to enjoy. It's not about making them feel uncertain, but rather about showing them that your time and attention are valuable, that being around you is something special. However, it's essential to approach this technique with care. The goal isn't to confuse or hurt them, but to create a sense of mutual respect and attraction. When you're always available, it's easy for people to overlook your presence. The push and pull reminds them that you're someone worth pursuing, that you're not there just for their convenience. Now here's a powerful reminder for you. I am worth the chase. Drop this affirmation into the comments, repeat it, and make it yours. Embrace the mindset that you're someone worth pursuing. This isn't about seeking attention. It's about honoring yourself and letting others see the value in being around you. When you own this confidence, you naturally create an allure that draws people in. Number 3, planting the seed of doubt, a subtle strategy for attraction. In the intricate dance of relationships, one of the most effective techniques to keep someone thinking about you is the artful planting of a seed of doubt. This strategy isn't about deceiving or fabricating stories. It's about subtly communicating that you're a person of value with options and attention that isn't exclusively theirs. When you introduce a hint of uncertainty into your interactions, you ignite a spark of curiosity in them. You make them ponder whether they truly have you figured out. The essence of this tactic lies in its ability to disrupt their comfort zone. When people feel secure in their relationships, they often take the other person for granted. They assume that your attention is guaranteed. However, by introducing a little mystery, suggesting that your affection and attention might not be solely reserved for them, you create a sense of intrigue and urgency. Consider this. By subtly implying that there are others who might be interested in you, you evoke a primal instinct within them to secure their position. Suddenly, they're questioning, am I really the only one who matters to them? What if someone else catches their eye? This internal dialogue can trigger a flurry of thoughts and emotions, compelling them to invest more effort into keeping you engaged. The beauty of this approach is its simplicity. You don't need grand gestures or elaborate schemes to evoke this response. It can be as effortless as mentioning a casual outing with friends or sharing a story about a compliment you received from someone. The key here is subtlety. You want to plant that seed without making it seem like a calculated move. Just drop a hint and allow their imagination to take over. For example, during a light conversation, you might mention running into someone who sparked your interest or simply share that a friend made an observation about your appeal. The moment you do, you can almost visualize the gears turning in their mind. They'll begin to wonder who this person is, what you found appealing about them, and whether they need to step up their game to maintain your attention. This technique is akin to a gentle nudge that keeps them on their toes. It's not about instilling outright jealousy, rather it's about igniting a flicker of doubt that makes them reflect on your relationship. They'll start to see you in a new light, realizing that your presence is something to be valued and appreciated. As the famous philosopher Marcus Aurelius once said, the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. By planting that seed of doubt, you're inviting them to think critically about your relationship, coloring their perception with intrigue and desire. You're conveying a powerful message. Their attention is not a guarantee, and they must work to keep your interest. This technique is particularly effective because it doesn't require manipulation. You're not orchestrating situations to make them feel insecure. You're simply affirming your own self-worth. By showing that you have a life full of options and experiences, you elevate your value in their eyes. They'll start to recognize that they are not the only chapter in your story. As they grapple with these thoughts, they'll naturally begin to question their own actions. What do I need to do to keep their interest? This internal inquiry will lead them to make more of an effort, to invest time and energy into the relationship, because suddenly, that connection doesn't feel as guaranteed as before. It's essential to note that this tactic isn't about creating resentment or discomfort. You're not trying to make them feel inadequate. Instead, you're gently reminding them that you are a person of significance, deserving of respect and admiration. You're planting the idea that your attention is not something to be taken lightly. In this way, you create a scenario where they feel compelled to demonstrate their value to you. They may start reaching out more frequently, planning thoughtful dates, or simply showing more interest in your life. As they recognize that your attention might waver, their desire to hold on to you grows stronger. This small yet impactful change can reignite their interest and keep you at the forefront of their thoughts. You become the person they consider worth investing in, sparking a deeper connection and enhancing the overall dynamic of your relationship. Ultimately, The goal is to reinforce your self-worth while simultaneously inviting them to appreciate the unique qualities you bring to the table. This tactic cultivates a mutual understanding that relationships are not one-sided. They require effort and engagement from both parties. Now here's an affirmation I want you to embrace. I am worth the chase. Write this down, say it aloud, and let it resonate within you. Acknowledging your own worth will transform how others perceive you. This isn't just about romance. It's about understanding that you deserve respect and attention. As you implement this tactic, remember that it's a journey of self-discovery as much as it is a method to engage others. The subtlety of planting a seed of doubt doesn't just keep you on their mind. It also reinforces the notion that you are someone of importance, someone whose presence is cherished. So as you move forward, let this strategy guide you. By making them aware that you have options and a life beyond their attention, you will create a magnetic pull that draws them in and keeps them invested. The best part? They won't even realize you're doing it. They'll simply feel that undeniable urge to keep you close because they'll instinctively understand that if they don't, someone else will. Number 4, igniting competitive curiosity. Subtle ways to keep them thinking about you. Isn't it fascinating how sparking a bit of mystery and gentle competition can make someone think of you even when you're not around? It's a subtle yet powerful technique, deeply rooted in psychology, and when applied artfully, it leaves a lasting impression. When someone senses they might be in a quiet contest for your attention, their focus heightens, drawing them closer. Below are some clever ways to pique their curiosity and keep their mind on you. One of the most powerful techniques: embrace what's called selective availability. This doesn't mean playing hard to get or constantly being distant. Instead, it's about being available only at the right moments. Try mentioning a past friendship or relationship where someone admired a unique quality in you, perhaps a talent, a distinctive perspective, or even a memorable characteristic. But instead of always being present or responding instantly, leave a bit of space, giving them time to reflect on you. A slight hint about how others valued you in the past subtly suggests that people see your worth even when they're not by your side. For example, a friend of hers said that she likes you because of your handsomeness and kindness. This slight notion of rivalry will leave them feeling a lingering tension, encouraging them to invest more of their energy and interest in the relationship. As one renowned psychologist once said, curiosity is the wick in the candle of learning. In relationships, curiosity is what fuels attraction. It gently plants the idea that if they don't step up, someone else might, someone who also recognizes your worth. By subtly creating this dynamic of lighthearted rivalry, you're giving them a reason to value you even more, to see you as someone they wouldn't dare to lose to another. Now, imagine them wanting to dive deeper, to see what others saw, perhaps even wanting to see if they might be the one to get to know you best. Curiosity, mixed with a dash of healthy competition, becomes an irresistibly captivating blend, holding their thoughts on you longer than you might ever expect. Number 5, the power of delayed responses in relationships. In our fast-paced world, where instant communication reigns supreme, the art of delaying your response holds remarkable power. Taking a moment before replying, be it to a text, a message, or a call, does more than build suspense. It creates an emotional distance that compels the other person to wonder, why the delay? What are you up to? This pause cultivates curiosity and anticipation, transforming a mundane conversation into a captivating exchange. When someone receives an immediate response, the thrill of connection can quickly dissipate. Conversely, a well-timed delay ignites intrigue, making them ponder, why haven't they replied? This opens a door to a realm of speculation. This psychological space can intensify their feelings for you, as they reflect on your interaction with greater depth than usual. It's a dance of emotions. Your absence amplifies the desire for your presence. By strategically holding back your responses, you not only exert control, but also lay the groundwork for more meaningful interactions. Delayed communication can enhance attraction, enriching your exchanges and deepening connections. Remember, this isn't about playing games. It's about fostering profound relationships through thoughtful communication. After all, in the words of Ralph Waldo Emerson, the only person you are destined to become is the person you decide to be. Embrace the power of delay and watch how it transforms your relationships. Number 6. Make time busy. The dark art of making them think about you. At the heart of the principle of limited access lies a profound truth. People tend to value what is not always available. Imagine this. By becoming less accessible, you elevate the significance of every moment someone spends with you. This isn't about playing games. It's about cultivating an alluring and desirable aura. So, how can you effectively implement this strategy? Start by crafting a busy life filled with meaningful activities and relationships. Resist the urge to answer every phone call on the first ring or respond to messages immediately. Suddenly, you transform from just another name in their contacts to someone with boundaries, a person leading a fulfilling life that they must invest time in. When we perceive something as scarce, our appreciation for it deepens. Reflect on how you feel when a captivating book is sold out, or when there's a long wait at a popular restaurant. You crave it more, don't you? But let's delve deeper. Why does this matter in relationships? Creating a sense of limited access ignites curiosity. It sparks questions like, what are they up to that's so important? Or why aren't they replying? This intrigue can foster a stronger emotional connection as they begin to invest more thought and feeling into your relationship. As the renowned psychologist Robert Cialdini noted, the fear of missing out is a very real psychological phenomenon. By limiting your availability, you tap into this instinct, making them reflect on your absence, thus heightening their interest. Share glimpses of your vibrant life when you connect, letting them see the exciting experiences you're having. This creates an appealing contrast. Your absence makes their heart yearn for you, while your presence becomes a cherished opportunity. Remember, as Stoics suggest, true fulfillment originates from within, not merely from the presence of others. Embrace your worth and watch as others are drawn to you. Number 7. The subtle balance between mystery and clarity. Human psychology is intricately linked to our craving for clarity and stability, yet there lies an alluring twist. We are equally drawn to uncertainty. This delicate tension between transparency and enigma creates an almost magnetic attraction in human relationships. We spark curiosity, stirring thoughts and emotions that make us linger in someone's mind. Imagine this scenario. You're engaged in conversation with someone who genuinely seems eager to learn about you, yet they don't reveal everything about themselves at once. Just when you think you've grasped their essence, they introduce an unexpected element, perhaps a joke, a challenging question, or a brief pause that leaves you pondering. What are they really thinking? In that moment, the dynamic shifts. Control slips away, and you find yourself captivated, drawn into the intriguing task of deciphering their intentions. Mixed signals hold a unique allure because they compel people to speculate. When someone is not entirely transparent, it ignites curiosity and a thrill of uncertainty, potentially fostering increased attraction and attachment. This phenomenon resembles the mechanics of a slot machine. Individuals persist, hopeful for a reward, even if victories are infrequent. In relationships, this unpredictable element can wield formidable influence. So, how can you wield mixed signals wisely? Here are a few insights. Be playful, yet genuine. Keeping someone intrigued is one thing, but you want to avoid coming off as insincere or manipulative. Use mystery to enhance connection, not to mislead. Gauge the other person's reaction. Pay attention to how they respond. If they seem genuinely interested, a hint of mystery can spice things up. However, if they appear uncertain or tense, it might be time to clarify. Know when to reveal more. Think of trust building as a dance between openness and mystery. Gradually offering more clarity over time can deepen trust while keeping the relationship dynamic and fresh. As philosopher Søren Kierkegaard once remarked, life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. In relationships, a similar principle applies. Clarity may only be fully appreciated over time, but the mystery of the present moment makes the journey compelling. Mixed signals can be a powerful tool for connection when applied thoughtfully. By balancing openness with a dash of unpredictability, you invite others to delve deeper into your persona without laying everything bare from the outset. Remember, the goal isn't manipulation, it's about keeping the relationship vibrant and engaging. After all, a hint of mystery often makes the heart grow fonder. In the grand tapestry of human connection, where clarity meets intrigue, we find the essence of what it means to truly engage with one another. It's a dance of discovery, where the unknown draws us closer, igniting passions and interests. So, embrace the art of balance, and allow a touch of mystery to breathe life into your interactions, ensuring that the pursuit of connection remains as thrilling as the destination itself. Number 8, the power of a little uncertainty, a subtle art to keep them thinking about you. In relationships, we often gravitate towards feelings of security and reassurance. But here's a twist. A touch of uncertainty can create a magnetic pull that keeps you on someone's mind. The human mind loves closure, but when faced with a hint of mystery, it tends to linger, revisit, and fill in the blanks. This sense of unresolved intrigue sparks curiosity, making people naturally more invested in figuring you out. But how exactly do you add that little bit of mystique? Just enough to keep their attention without playing manipulative games. Here's the secret. Create subtle hints that perhaps, just perhaps, they're not the only priority in your life. When people sense a bit of mystery or distance, they can't help but close the gap, seeking to better understand their place with you. The idea is simple yet powerful. By leaving certain things open-ended, you prompt others to think more deeply, to wonder, to reach out. This isn't about manipulation. It's about maintaining independence and respecting each other's space while keeping things exciting. Imagine this scenario. You've just had a fantastic weekend. Instead of laying out every detail when asked, keep it simple and a bit enigmatic. Oh, it was a great time. Did a few things, met some people, you say with a smile, letting your words linger. Immediately there's an allure to the unknown. What exactly did you do? Who were you with? Why aren't you sharing more? It's this subtle gap in information that can be so powerful. It leaves them intrigued, making them more curious about your experiences and world. Even philosophers have touched on this. Blaise Pascal once observed, "The heart has its reasons, which reason does not know." We often follow emotional cues that we can't logically explain, especially when we sense there's something just out of reach. Small gestures of curiosity, doses of unpredictability, these are things that deepen connections, not through constant closeness, but by fostering a healthy intrigue. This approach isn't about games or manipulation. It's about respecting your independence and theirs too. By introducing gentle mysteries, you keep interactions fresh and dynamic, letting others naturally gravitate toward you without trying too hard. The balance of connection and autonomy is powerful, making relationships richer and fuller. Number 9, the illusion of choice, a dark manipulation strategy. The concept of limited choice is a powerful psychological technique that subtly guides individuals towards decisions without their conscious awareness of being influenced. By presenting restricted or biased options, you can create a sense of freedom while steering them toward outcomes that align with your desires. This technique finds its application in negotiations, marketing, and even everyday conversations. It fosters a sense of autonomy while subtly directing decisions in a specific direction. Let's explore how this works, why it's effective, and how to use it ethically to build relationships or encourage positive choices. Imagine wanting to go out for dinner at a restaurant while your friend prefers to stay in and watch a movie. You might say, "We can enjoy a delicious dinner at that new pizza place, or I can go out while you stay in." Here, you've arranged the options so that your friend feels they're making a choice, yet both alternatives subtly support your preference. This approach respects their autonomy while guiding them toward the outcome you desire. Limited choice leverages cognitive biases, particularly the decoy effect and framing effect. Research shows that when people are presented with options framed in specific ways, they often gravitate toward the middle ground or the most attractive option within the set limits. Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman explains in his book, Thinking Fast and Slow, that our minds often choose based on context and how options are presented rather than pure logic. By carefully framing choices, we can make certain outcomes seem more appealing without explicitly stating preferences. For example, consider a salesperson presenting 3 product options: basic, premium, and luxury. Most people will opt for the middle or premium choice, even if it's slightly above their initial budget, simply because it appears to be the safe choice. This tendency can also be applied in personal situations to subtly shape decisions. Crafting compelling choices. Examples: let's spend an evening doing something fun outdoors, or you can relax here and we'll catch up later. In this scenario, the options appear neutral, but the emphasis on spending time together subtly encourages them to choose the shared experience. You can try working on this project alone, or we can collaborate to make it even better. By proposing collaboration as a means to enhance the outcome, this subtly prioritizes the joint effort. The ethics of limited choice. While limited choice can be effective, it is crucial to wield it for positive purposes. This technique works best when encouraging beneficial decisions, whether promoting health awareness, guiding better career choices, or engaging in positive social interactions. Creating an illusion of control through limited choice allows you to guide decisions subtly. By offering others options that align with your desires, you can effectively influence outcomes without imposing your will. A thoughtful approach. Imagine the thrill of realizing that the choices you thought were yours were artfully crafted to lead you to a preferable path. This technique, while powerful, demands responsibility. It invites us to reflect on our own choices and the invisible threads that guide them. As you navigate the complex landscape of relationships and decision-making, consider how the art of limited choice can enrich your interactions. Are you empowering others, or merely steering them toward your agenda? The balance lies in fostering connections that inspire and uplift, creating a space where everyone feels valued and understood. In the realm of human connection, the true essence of choice is not in the options themselves, but in the respectful dance of influence that empowers individuals to embrace their paths while still weaving the threads of our shared experiences. So, the next time you find yourself faced with choices, remember, the power of limited choice can shape not only outcomes, but the very fabric of our relationships. Number 10. Reverse psychology. The dark art of making them think about you. You might not want to read this. Seriously, don't go any further. I mean, we're telling you not to read it, right? But if you're still here, congratulations. You've just fallen for one of the most fascinating tricks of psychology: reverse psychology. This technique suggests that by implying you don't want something, you can spark another's desire for it, or at the very least get them to think about it. Yet it's a bit more complex than that. Reverse psychology isn't merely manipulation, it's about knowing when and how to inspire others, ethically, of course. So how does it work, and how can you use it responsibly? Imagine you're planning a big birthday party and you want your friend John to come. However, he seems hesitant. When you ask if he'll attend, he replies, "Oh, I was actually going to visit my grandma. She's not doing well, but I guess I could skip it." Instantly, you feel guilty and insist, "No, you must visit your grandma. That's much more important." Unbeknownst to you, you've just reinforced his choice, making him feel righteous about prioritizing family over social obligations. Reverse psychology is all about these subtle signals, but does it always work? The answer depends on key factors, such as the personality of the individual involved. Research shows that those with a rebellious or independent streak are more susceptible to reverse psychology because they dislike feeling controlled. A classic study by psychologist Jack Bream introduced the theory of psychological reactance, explaining that people often do the opposite of what they're told when they feel their freedom is threatened. This explains why rebellious teens may be more likely to clean their room after you say, "It's okay to be messy if that's what you want." But let's be clear, reverse psychology isn't a magic spell. It's not about tricking someone into doing something against their will. Rather, it's about positioning ideas in a way that makes people feel they're in control of their choices. Essentially, it taps into the basic human desire for autonomy. When used thoughtfully, it can encourage others to make better decisions they may not have considered if they felt pressured or cornered. Think of it as the art of suggestion. Instead of saying, "You must try this new project, it'll be amazing," try, "This project might not be for you. It requires a lot of creativity and resilience. What challenge does this imply? Do you have enough creativity and resilience for this?" This approach taps into pride and curiosity. How to use reverse psychology. Responsibly understand your audience. Not everyone responds well to reverse psychology. Those with a strong sense of independence may lean into it, while more agreeable or sensitive individuals might feel pressured. Set up a choice, not a trap. Ensure you're offering options that genuinely align with the other person's best interests. Reverse psychology can help friends recognize opportunities rather than pushing them into uncomfortable situations. Use reverse psychology sparingly. Like any influence tactic, overusing it can backfire. Trust and respect are the foundations of any good relationship. Too much manipulation can erode both. Know when it's effective. Reverse psychology works best when someone is uncertain or hesitant. However, it can feel manipulative if they already know what they want. As the saying goes, people want what they can't have. Steve Jobs once said, "Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your inner voice." Reverse psychology can be a tool to guide someone in hearing that inner voice, helping them make choices they genuinely desire. Ultimately, reverse psychology is about influence, not control. It works best when it aligns with someone's true interests, not just our own. The next time you want someone to consider an idea, instead of pushing them directly, consider how you might allow them to discover it in their own way. Number 11. The Art of Building Anticipation, a guide to creating captivating conversations. Imagine each conversation you initiate as if you're painting a masterpiece, adding each stroke to build depth, intrigue, and connection. This is the magic of anticipation, a powerful tool that, when used skillfully, transforms daily exchanges into unforgettable experiences. Anticipation isn't just about withholding details. It's about creating a subtle thrill that invites others to lean in, invest emotionally, and wonder what's next. Picture this: a simple message like, "I've got a little surprise for you by the end of the day, and I just know you'll love it." You haven't spilled any secrets, but you've sparked curiosity. Suddenly, that conversation becomes part of a story in progress, a scene where the listener feels drawn to uncover what's behind the curtain. By framing it this way, you encourage them to invest emotionally in the outcome. Open-ended questions are another fantastic way to build anticipation. Asking something like, "Hey, do you remember that exciting thing we mentioned for this weekend?" doesn't just trigger curiosity. It invites the listener to consider various possibilities. What event? Is something new happening? With just one question, you've turned a casual chat into a mini-adventure where they're invited to explore, imagine, and feel involved. This interaction becomes a kind of anchor, deepening their connection with you as they enjoy the thrill you've set in motion. Timing, as they say, is everything. Think of sending a playful message like, "I have a secret that will totally surprise you," right before a holiday or an event you'll both attend. Whether it's a festive season or a weekend getaway, setting up anticipation within these moments amplifies the excitement, like a countdown to something amazing, each tick of the clock adding a beat of thrill. Examples of building anticipation in everyday situations. Saving the best for last. Imagine you're meeting a friend for lunch and you casually mention, "I have something exciting to tell you before we say goodbye." This small hint will stir their curiosity and keep the conversation vibrant. The mystery question. Sometimes a single question can spark curiosity. Try something like, "And guess who I ran into yesterday?" Or, "Can you imagine what happened at work today?" This will prompt the other person to wonder, creating a more engaging conversation. Teasers to spark interest. Like a movie trailer, you can introduce something without revealing everything. "Wait until you see what I've been working on. It's going to blow your mind." Here, you plant a seed of excitement that grows in the listener's mind, making the conversation linger with them long after it's over. As the legendary filmmaker Alfred Hitchcock once said, "There is no terror in the bang, only in the anticipation of it." This doesn't only apply to thrillers, it's true for any interaction. The build-up, the hint, the wait, all these elements make the final reveal far more powerful than if you'd shared everything at once. Here are some tips to make anticipation a natural part of your communication style. Use intriguing openers. Phrases like, "I think you'll be thrilled to hear this," or "I'd love your thoughts on something that could be a game changer." Invite others to actively participate, imagining the possibilities ahead. By weaving anticipation into your conversations, you create an environment where people feel excited, engaged, and eager to connect. It's not about holding back information. It's about building a bridge to a deeper, more meaningful interaction. Whether with friends, colleagues, or loved ones, a touch of suspense can make your exchanges ripple outward, transforming fleeting moments into lasting memories. Number 12, semantic manipulation, the dark art of shaping perception. Imagine yourself in a conversation where someone subtly twists your words, reshaping the meaning behind what you said. They might even shift the context enough to make it sound as if you've said something entirely different. This sneaky tactic, known as semantic manipulation, is essentially a dark twist on wordplay, using language to control or influence someone else's thinking or actions without them realizing it. It can be disorienting, even unsettling, especially when it starts to affect your behavior or sense of self. What might this look like in real situations? Picture this. You casually mention wanting to get healthier, and a friend keeps joking about your weight despite you asking them to stop. When you finally confront them, they respond, "But you said you wanted to lose weight." I'm just supporting your goal. Here, they're distorting the meaning of support and twisting your own words to justify hurtful behavior. Their intent isn't to encourage, it's to manipulate. This tactic goes beyond casual conversations. In business, politics, and media, semantic manipulation is often employed to influence public opinion or make people question their own beliefs. Take greenwashing in advertising, for example. Companies might label products with terms like eco-friendly or natural without fully adhering to those claims. They manipulate language to make consumers feel good about their choices, even if the product is far from sustainable. Dr. Robert Cialdini, author of Influence, The Psychology of Persuasion, explains that people are likely to agree with statements that align with their pre-existing attitudes or self-image. Semantic manipulation takes advantage of this, making people feel as if they're upholding their own beliefs, even if those beliefs are swayed by someone else's words. Recognizing and responding. So how can we spot semantic manipulation in action? Start by asking yourself a few questions. Does this feel like a distortion of the original meaning? Am I being led to commit to something or accept a belief out of the blue? Does this statement tap into my insecurities or values without a clear reason? When you sense that words are being twisted, consider responding with clarity. If someone says, "I'm only trying to help you lose weight because you said you wanted that," a calm reply like, "My goal to be healthier doesn't mean I welcome unsolicited comments about my appearance," can set a clear boundary without escalating the situation. If someone frequently manipulates conversations, it may signal that they're not genuinely invested in your well-being. Recognizing when someone is distorting your words empowers you to control your narrative and choices. Knowing when to walk away, establish boundaries, or seek clarification can be your best defense against those trying to shape how you view yourself or others. Remember, understanding this tactic allows you to safeguard your own voice and choices. In the realm of relationships and attraction, employing extremely dark tricks to make them think about you can be a powerful, yet nuanced approach. Remember, it's not just about manipulation. It's about creating an irresistible aura that draws them in. When you utilize these techniques, think of how they reflect your own values and emotional intelligence. Whether it's through intrigue, mystery, or even playful challenges, the goal is to ensure that the person remains captivated by your presence and thoughts. After all, if you learn how to make someone think about you 24/7, you're not just playing a game, you're engaging in a delicate dance of connection. As you reflect on these strategies, I encourage you to embrace the journey of self-discovery and emotional growth that accompanies them. Let's support each other in this adventure. If you found value in today's video, please show your support by hitting that like button, and don't forget to subscribe to the Stoic Goddess for more insights. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and hit the notification bell to catch our upcoming videos filled with even more transformative ideas. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.